Kia ora whanau. Welcome. We have another amazing podcast here in this beautiful festival for the future in Te Whangarui Atara. Is it correct?
Te Whanganui Atara.
Great. So that's my city.
Yeah. Oh.
I have to spell it correctly.
Yeah.
Or pronounce it correctly. I have a great guest, Skylah. Skylah, I just met you right now. So if you introduce yourself to our audience and people watching this podcast, who is Skylah?
Kia ora. I am Skylah Homes. I am 21. I'm in my first year of study. I'm doing a Bachelor of Arts degree, majoring in Māori and Indigenous Studies and Political Sciences and International Relations. I love animals. And yeah, I suppose the biggest thing about me, I'm like on my reconnecting journey. I love to get to know people, talk to people, hear their stories and how they shape who they are, kind of thing. So that would be me.
That's beautiful. Just to love that passion. So what was your passion behind choosing the major you're studying now?
Yeah, so with that whole thing, I'm Māori, but I was not taken away, but couldn't be with my Māori family for a lot of my teenage years. So my passion for my degree comes from me wanting to reconnect with myself and get to know my heritage and why I feel these things, and just to kind of give me a place to feel like not only I belong, but just give me more answers for what I'm seeking inside, kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. And what a journey. So this is your first year, right?
Yeah, just done my first semester and passed, so very proud of myself.
Amazing. Which uni are you studying?
I'm studying through the University of Canterbury.
Okay, great. Okay, awesome. Great job. That's awesome. And I see your passion, and I see that you're an active and you have a bright future. So if I ask you this about how it's important, to know our heritage, to know our roots. So in that question, if anyone asks you about your passion of indigenous communities, you are one of them. So what that's meaning to you? What's your why there?
I think, let me think about that for a second.
Could be a big question, right?
Yeah, very, very loaded question a little bit. So I'll try to think of a little answer, kind of.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important to connect with your heritage, because the history tells a lot about who you are as a person. It doesn't necessarily define who you are, but it just gives you answers about why things are the way that they are and why you might feel some type of way, whether that be good or bad. And for me personally, I love having answers. I like learning things, and I suppose that's where my want and need to understand me, not only at my physical, but also my tipuna and my ancestors, and how through their struggles and everything that they've been through, I'm now here today, and I get to, kind of bring some of their passions. I see in learning about my whānau, I see a lot of my tipuna just in the actions that I do today without even knowing it. So I think it's very powerful to know that you are not alone, and that the people before you have carved this path so that way you can keep going and you keep pushing forward, kind of thing.
Yeah, I love that, because I love what you mentioned, that I want to know the answers. Exactly. Is a human right to ask?
Definitely.
Ask about the history, why it happened. The history have been changed.
Yeah.
So we need to find those answers. It's basically just finding the answers. Doesn't meaning there will be a big things that people need to afraid from those answers. We need to find it. It's our right to find our roots and our ancestors.
And I suppose it feeds on a little bit of human curiosity as well.
Exactly.
I feel like everybody's curious and wants to know a little bit more. So that's another thing that feeds into it for me as well.
Yeah. Well, I see the passion there, and I see that you will be you're now in the journey to start. So another things, before this podcast, we had a little bit chat about something cool you want to do. Do you want to share it with people?
Oh, maybe. I do want to start my own podcast one day.
There we go.
I am an avid podcast listener, and I get a lot of just insight, and it helps me draw perspective, hearing from different people's podcasts and their lenses on how they see life. So I'd love to bring another voice and another perspective to the podcast space, but it is just a matter of getting there.
Yeah.
And starting is what you said, just do it. So I might actually need to just start doing things rather than just talking about them all the time.
Absolutely. Great. So guys, remember the name Skylah. We'll have a new podcast. So And hopefully when you tag us, we can share it so people can share you.
Well, we're friends now, so
Exactly. Here
I'll
we
be
go.
like, this person, this is the one that made me start it. So
Or maybe we can invite you to the podcast again.
do a little collab.
Here we go. That's the one.
That would be
Exactly.
great.
Yeah, because I think the podcast is now the modern ways that a lot of people watch it, a lot of people listen to it, which it's a media in hand of the people. That's how I describe it, right? And it's the people to tell the stories,
Yeah.
people to talk about it, which right now we just met and we're just talking about important questions that we just addressed.
100%, 100%.
And the cool things is about it. It's all about authenticity. That we just go around and here I have a story. I can also share my voice. Someone else
Yeah.
could be inspired who's sitting there, who's watching this kind of stuff, and they can also say, okay, wait, if these guys can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
If these guys doing this in a community, I can be part of it. I can do this and that.
100%. Just really, I don't know, maybe once I start my podcast, this will probably carry a little bit more weight, but like actually just doing it and doing things to better yourself and doing what actually feels nice as well. And for some people that is through sharing their story. I know that is for me, and everybody else will find their passions throughout life. So yeah, I 100% resonate with everything that you were just saying before. And I do think it's important that everyone's voices need to be heard because everybody has different perspectives that need to be shared in the world.
Yeah. Awesome, Skylar. So I think this was a quick podcast for this vibes of these festivals. But last question I want to ask you, what will be your message if you want to send it to young people or those people? Like, what kind of message you want to send through?
Be curious and ask questions, even though people might shut you down for the questions that you ask. It's important that you do ask them because asking questions and getting the answers leads to greater things in life. And yeah, 100%. Be curious, be you, be your authentic self, and don't hide. Don't hide. Everybody's got a bright light. Shine
Love
bright.
I love it, Skylar. Thank you so much. Okay, Pano, thank you so much. Okay, cheers.